What is up, guys? Welcome to the Verse Crypto channel, the most savage and degenerate crypto channel out there. My name's Khaos Kris, and I'll be your host today. Before I off this video, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and turn on bell notifications so I keep you guys up to date with the latest, greatest news and information within the space. With that being said, let's hop right in this video. As always, I got another awesome live stream for all you degenerates today. Today, we are going to be talking about Pulsechain altcoins. And let me tell you guys, I've got a lot to talk about. And the one question I have is, will TYRH push Pulse to 1 penny? So we're going to talk about this new meme altcoin that just came into the Pulsechain space. There's a lot going on behind this project, a lot of special sauce. In addition, we're going to jump into the Tetra protocol. This is something that I've been following for a very long time. There's going to be a lot of stuff when it comes to automation in the DeFi space, and the approach that they're trying to implement is awesome. So we're going to dive into that. Also, I got a few other altcoins. We're going to talk a little bit about internet money if we got some time left, and maybe dive into some PRC-20 tokens on the Degen side. But we're going to leave that at the end of the live stream just in case if you guys want to tune on out, because that's Degen stuff. So starting off, let's just see where we're at right now with the Bitcoin price chart just to gauge how the market's doing. So starting off, we got Bitcoin sitting at $29,353, and as of right now, it's trading sideways. We have a little bit of a leg down. Now, my original price prediction was that we were probably going to go up to about 35 to 40K, and to be honest, now that more events are setting in and rally setting in, there's a good chance that we might see a little bit of a leg down coming in the fall. Please keep in mind, there's always going to be something that pops up. We're getting into election season. I'm not insinuating anything, but when it comes to altcoins, we might have a late summer altcoin season. And when I mean altcoin season, some of them might rise, some of them might fall, but do not place your bets on it. Now, the one thing I want to get across is when Bitcoin trades sideways, one thing I've always noticed, this is the best time to start accumulating. When you get these large dips or large increases, that's probably the time when you don't want to be buying altcoins. And so since it's been trading sideways for so long, if you're on the Pulsechain, if you're on Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, whatever blockchain you're on, this is the time to start accumulating. And if we see a leg up or a leg down, I would halt on your accumulation and move it back. Now, moving forward, got to keep it going. We got so much stuff to talk about, so I don't want to be talking about this stuff too much. What's going on in altcoin season, in the altcoin market? Quant's doing pretty good. It's heading up to $112. I also saw a trading pair of the ERC-20 token Quant on the Pulsechain. So this actually might be, if you're in this token, it might be great to bring over the Pulsechain and use that as a place to hold it there, just so that you don't have to worry about fees on the Ethereum blockchain. In addition, we have HBAR seeing about 2.4%, not too bad. Caspa having a little bit of dip. I don't know, this token absolutely just keeps on ripping. And I think we're probably going to hit a top soon and start going down into the future. So, yep, nothing too much. And then Hex on Ethereum still trading sideways at about a penny. Pretty much expected. We do have the highest of stakes documentary coming out next weekend, I believe. Yes, so it's coming out next weekend. So there might be a little bit of some price action behind this token, and I'm going to get a little bit more into it, but keep your eyes out on that, especially with news like that. Top 200, nothing really too much to report. WorldCoin, I do not like this coin, but it's up 7.5% regardless. And then we got PulseX sitting in the top 200, down at 2.9%. I do expect this token to come back in the top 100 going into the foreseeable future. And then nothing else that really pops out, Ethereum name service or whatnot. So it's just regular coins. So moving on, what's going on with the price of Pulsechain, PulseX, and Sim token? And if you guys have been viewing my channel, I haven't done anything on Pulsechain for a very long there's been a lot of news, but I've been covering other fields within cryptocurrency. So right now, looking at Pulsechain and coming over here to the price chart, we saw a little bit of a dip since we had the launch run up, and out of that dip, we've actually seen a certain amount of FUD behind the overall project. So let's see. I always do the wrong thing. There you go. So right now we're sitting at about 63% dip, which isn't really bad. But I've been on crypto Twitter, and in the Pulsechain Hex community, there's been a lot of FUD. There's been a lot of people freaking out. And so I actually think the bottom is in on Pulsechain. And there's a good chance that if Bitcoin starts to do really well towards the end of the summer, or maybe up until, you know, that massive dip that a lot of people are predicting, there's a good chance that it could absolutely run before that. And when I say run, I'm thinking anywhere between a 2 to 5x max. So 2x being at the bottom, 5 being at the at most. So in my opinion, with the bottom being in, and a lot of other people, I saw Buck from Fiat saying that he thinks the bottom is in, that's definitely a good indicator. And so we're at 63% dip on that. Let's look at PulseX. So PulseX is another token that I've seen a lot of FUD behind. And so if you guys actually take a look at the Pulsechain, the PulseX chart, there's a massive correlation between Pulse and PulseX. And that's part of the reason. Part of the reason is because of that liquidity pool. And a lot of people actually paired up their PulseX and Pulse tokens. So So basically doing a chart price down, I would say it's probably right around 76%. So it's about 10% more dip from the top compared to Pulsechain. But ultimately, this actually might be the biggest play coming into the next bull market because of the amount of PulseX being burnt off the market. I'm on gopulse.com. I'm not sure if I see anything that says how much has been burned. Oh, here we go. So we've had over 263 billion PulseX tokens burnt. And on the Pulsechain side, we had 134 billion. Now, as the PulseX supply continues to contract, it's going to have that burn fee go down a little bit. But I also think there's going to be like a PulseX Pulsechain flippening on the token supply, where PulseX is actually going to go under the token supply of Pulsechain. And this is part of the reason why I think PulseX could run a little bit quicker than Pulsechain. On the other side, we got incentive token. As most of you guys know, I call the top of the incentive token, and we're sitting at about that $5 mark. It could go down to $2, but I think incentive token could hit a $200 to $250 mark in the future. The amount of tokens that are going to be in circulation during the bull market is going to be between 3 million and 5 million, which is like a fourth of the supply of Bitcoin. So this actually might be a great time to start dollar cost averaging into incentive token, because I do think this project could run. Also, there might be some news about the richardheart wallet burning incentive token, or some added utility that could add deflationary mechanics behind incentive token. So if you get in now or before that, not financial advice, you could basically get in if any news were to come about the incentive token, which could possibly pop it up. And then lastly, we're going to look at Hex. As most of you guys know, you guys are big on Hex. Hex is about a penny on Ethereum, and then it's sitting at about 2 cents on Pulsechain. Overall, Hex is actually looking pretty good on Pulsechain. My price target for Hex on the Pulsechain is going to be somewhere in the $5 to $10 range. And so with it sitting at 2 cents, I think all the lettuce hands, all the people that sold are out of this project. And this might be a really great time to start building up your bag, because you don't want to be buying Hex when the bull market comes around. And I highly recommend, if you buy Hex and you're keen on staking it, do not stake your entire bag. I would recommend staking anywhere between 20% to 50% max of your bag. Keep that other 50% on the sideline just so that you can take some profit and, really, take advantage of the next bull market cycle, so you can build up your bag to buy more Hex going on to the future. So really, really great stuff. Let's see if we got any questions going on. Woo! All right, we got a lot of people in the chat. That's what's up. All right. Francis Powell, what's up, man? Nice to see you. Awesome stuff. Any news to come with TYRH? Well, we'll hop in that into a second. Elvis, what's up? Kaisa, I don't know if I say your name right. Good evening. It's good to see you. Make the money, get rich. We are super TYRH. I love it. Answer is yes. TYRH is to hit $1 easy and push Pulse to a penny easy. Awesome prediction. Elvis, TYRH is the real deal of memes. Well, yep, we're going to talk about that in a second. Let's go. TYRH, J Pard, nice live stream. Awesome to have you guys in here. If only there was a token that helped burn all RH ecosystem tokens. Yeah, I agree. I don't know. Maybe there is one. Maybe you'll find out in this live stream. That's a very good point, J Par. So, kind of just jumping into what's going on with the Pulsechain ecosystem. And there's a lot of questions about this. Now, there's a lot of maxis like Pulsechain, Hex maxis, or whatever, and then there's developers on the Pulsechain ecosystem. So there's two factions, and then you got Richard Heart at the top with his development team. Now, the maxis have been going at it with the developers, saying that why are you guys launching projects? Why aren't you guys promoting Hex, Pulsechain, Richard Heart products? And the developers and the I'll call them the builder community. We'll call them the builder community. The builder community is like, hey, we need to build projects so that we can add utility to the Pulsechain. And so what I'm trying to get across is there's a little bit of Twitter beef between a Pulsechain influencer and 9inch. And in the end, the 9inch developer, Hexy, I forgot his name. It was like Hexy Bastard or whatever. But he essentially got so much clout from this altercation. Now, the one thing I want to say before we start hopping into, TYRH and all these other altcoins, in order for Pulsechain to be successful, we need development on the Pulsechain. Back when the Xbox, the PS3, the PS4, the Nintendo launch, these were gaming consoles. But what really gave these gaming consoles value are the games that you could play on each and every single one of them. For example, the reason why Xbox was so great was because you could play Halo. PS4, PS3, you could play FIFA. You could play these really great games that people like. And it's the same thing with blockchains and altcoins, or we call them layer 3s, which is what we're going to talk about. So essentially, in order to give these blockchains or these gaming consoles value, you need to have great layer 3s. The reason why Ethereum is so successful is because of Uniswap, Bored Apes, all these other projects, because when they bring utility to that blockchain, it keeps people interested. It keeps people engaging. It keeps people using that blockchain to give it value. And that's something we need with the Pulsechain, and all the projects I'm going to talk to you about today keeps the Pulsechain interesting, keeps people engaged, has people jump on and really get into it. So, to start off with the first project I am going to cover, this is an altcoin I've actually been paying attention for a minute. And believe it or not, when I first saw it, I was really confused. I looked over it. I didn't know what was going on. And the one thing that really deterred me away from this project was the fact that it was a tax token. And I'm not going to lie, I definitely regretted it when I first saw it because the price of this project acted absolutely well. Now, as most of you guys know, meme coins do extremely well. We saw Pepe do really well a couple months ago. We saw Shiba Inu do extremely well in the last market. And so the developers of this project, who are developers of PulsePot, BNB Pot, and then also a project where you can buy PulseX and Pulsechain before the Pulsechain mainnet launch, created a really great way to add meme coins and utility together, but also benefit the entire Richard Heart ecosystem. And the name of that project is TYRH. And for those guys who don't know, TYRH is a meme coin. It's also a tax token and also a utility token that is designed to not only create an awesome token that has massive price appreciation, but also to support the entire Richard Heart ecosystem. Now, I'm not going to go too far deep into the weeds about what TYRH is. I'm going to give you guys the meat and the cheese, and then I'm also going to talk about some of the research I did with some of the interviews I saw with the developer Jacob. Really great job, really great guy. Shout out Jacob. I talked to him in the past. He is a phenomenal developer, very trusted dude. And just kind of give you my overall thoughts on how this project is going to do, give you guys some price predictions. So basically, what is TYRH? Now, TYRH stands for Thank You, Richard Heart. Now, basically, how this token works is if you want to go in and buy the token, you have to set your slippage to 30% on buys, and I believe it was 20% on sells. Now, the reason why there's such a high slippage is because there's a 22% tax on sells. And from that tax, a portion of the fees are taken, and it buys up PulseX, Hex, and incentive token, and basically puts it into a pot where you can come over here and burn those tokens away. And it's the same thing with the sell fee. And, oh, excuse me, you set the slippage to 12%, not 20%. I was wrong. But essentially, it's the same thing with the sell fee. And so all those fees are built up, buy these tokens right off the market, and then you can come over here and then burn, baby, burn. Now, on top of that, you know, just from the face value, that's really cool because now you have an increase in Pulse and PulseX, making those even more deflationary. It also mitigates some of that Hex inflation because keep in mind, Hex has about a 3.69 inflation. And then also it helps with the incentive token inflation. Even though incentive token has a lot of mass inflation, with it being burnt right now, with the expected supply to be right around, I think, 3 to 4 million at the top of the next bull market, this is actually going to be extremely impactful if they can get at least in the 10, well, I would say 50,000 to 100,000 range of incentive tokens. But regardless, their main utility is to burn these tokens. Now, that's not it for the entire project. There's some other stuff behind it that you can also do. So if you choose to hold your TYRH liquid, you can do that and wait for the price to go up, and we'll do a little price analysis in a second. But you also have the option to take your TYRH and actually stake it into a staking contract for 55 days, which represents the 5555 stake. And in exchange for staking TYRH for 55 days, you can actually receive rewards in tokens that TYRH has done partnerships with. So they've done one with Fenix, Tony, PulsePot, which is another thing Jacob is working on. He's waiting for an Oracle to launch, Texan, and then the next one was Time. And so essentially, based on how many tokens you have staked, you will receive a portion of this pot. And so the next one coming up is going to be Texan token. So if you own 1%, or we'll say you just own 10% of the supply, you're just a whale, you're that bullish, then you will basically be essentially receiving, I think that is 30 million if you own 10%, but I guarantee you now no one owns 10%. Now, that's part of the staking mechanics. On top of the staking mechanics, it actually continues to go. So you can stake your tokens, and if you decide to end your stake, you will actually have 55. If you decide to end your stake early, 55.5% of your total token supply is going to be burnt right off the bat. And if you were to honor your staking contract, then basically you can withdraw them off the bat. And please keep in mind, that's like after like the first day to decide to stake, or maybe 1 hour before you decide to end your stake when your stake is up. So you want to be very cautious with that because you could actually lose a lot of value from that. Now, coming down here, on top of staking, when you stake, you actually get to earn burn tokens. And with these burn tokens, you can go in and you can purchase a bunch of these boosters. Now, how these burn tokens are determined is based on the stake you decide to do when you come in here and stake. Yeah, so we come over here to stake. Basically, if you were to stake, we'll say like 1 million tokens, then you have the potentiality to either receive 50 million to 250 million burn tokens. Now, with those burn tokens, you have two options. You can go and you can buy one of these NFTs. You'll get a booster, 5, 10, 15%, or you can you know, gamble a little bit and just do a random. Or you can come back here to the bonfire, stake it, earn 1% auto compounding going on to the future. Now, you might be asking yourself, all right, does that make burn massively inflationary? No, it actually does not, because all the burn that's being used to buy these NFTs go into the contract, and essentially it supplies that contract so you can continue to receive that 1% every single day. Keep in mind, burn is going to be capped. It's not inflationary, so sooner or later it's going to stop, but it's probably not going to stop in the foreseeable future. It's probably going to go on for about a year and a half to 2 years is what expected. I could be wrong. This is all subject to change. And so with these boosters, you can actually increase the amount of tokens you are going to receive on each of these claims. So if you're able to pull like a 15% claim booster, or maybe one of these really cool Richard Heart claim boosters or whatnot, then you also get a bonus. In addition, there's also staking tiers. So basically, there's a series of leagues, and based on how long you stake, it can also increase your position and the amount of tokens you receive, and also the amount of burn tokens you get on top of that. So the amount of utility behind TYRH is absolutely crazy. And so through my research and after going through and really diving into this token, I heard some of the interviews. One of them was Rags to Riches and Jacob. And I actually know Jacob personally. I've done some work with him. He did a lot of work with, a project where you can actually buy Pulsechain and PulseX before at 20 times the sacrifice rate. And what he was able to do was create an awesome product that airdropped over 40,000 wallets Pulsechain tokens so that they can go in and interact on the mainnet launch. As most of you guys know, with the Pulsechain mainnet launch, it was absolutely crazy. People couldn't swap for tokens, and so there was faucets being set up. There was all sorts of craziness to try to onboard as many users. Now, what I like about Jacob was out of that project, he didn't really receive too much money from it. Basically, he created that to help out people, and then on top of that, he also created a faucet so that you can receive Pulse tokens to execute a swap and essentially, get yourself on board within the Pulsechain ecosystem. And so what I saw with Jacob was he had a massive track for really helping out this community. And so based on what he's creating with TYRH, he's trying to find a way to add new utility to the Richard Heart ecosystem, burn as many of these tokens as humanly possible, but also he wants to create a I want to say meme-nomics. I'm having a hard time speaking English right now, but essentially he's trying to create this meme trend because people love meme coins. And TYRH is one of those coins you look at with the symbol, and you're just like, what is that? And obviously, you're probably like, dang, this is a meme coin, but it has a lot of added utility. So overall, I really like what Jacob is doing with this project. And at first, I thought the price wasn't going to do too well, and I was going to wait to get in. But let me show you guys a screen share of how I was doing right now. So basically, I found it right here on July 23rd. And since then, on July 23rd, this sucker basically did, we'll just say 13.69. So basically it did a 14x. So I'm actually a big baboon. I did not jump on it when I had the opportunity. But ultimately, based on what we're seeing with how this token is playing out, more people are choosing to buy this token up, stake it to receive these claimable token airdrops because, people want to get into time. They want to get into text, and they want to get into Tony and all of that. And basically, it's going up and to the right. Now, my main concern behind this token is, so we have July 23rd, and then after 55 days, people can start removing their tokens. So let's see. July 23rd, 2023. Let's see if it'll just do it for me. Plus 55 days. So September 11th, 2023. Wow. That is crazy. I don't know if they really timed that out yet or whatnot. So the reason why I did that was because after that 55 days on September 11th, 2023, this is when a lot of those stakes are going to end, and you can basically come out and basically sell your tokens. So I think on that day, there might be a good chance that a lot of people will take profits. But from now up until then, there's a huge chance that this token could go up and to the right. And last time I was looking, I don't know if it says right here, but yeah, 68% of the supply is staked. So we have 68% of the TYRH tokens are staked. And basically, if we look at the entire supply, I don't know if they have the supply here. I don't know. Maybe it's on CoinGecko. But ultimately, that creates a small liquid supply. And as more people come in and buy, it's going to push up. In addition, if anyone in-stakes early, that's actually going to cause a lot of these tokens to be burned off the market. So the fundamentals behind this token are going to be really, really great going on to the future, to the point where I might actually like dive in. And that's not financial advice, but you know, I might either get in right now early or wait until September 11th for a possible price drop and then get in right there. But overall, in my opinion, I could definitely see this token getting up to, and this is a prediction, all right, just a prediction. I could definitely see this token getting up to a $50 million to $100 million market cap in the short term. And based on that, from there, there's a good chance that we might see it retrace back to a $2 to $5 million level. But if this token starts to go viral and more of the Pulsechain and Hex community comes in, it could definitely go well above that, because market cap's not a great indicator, but it'll give you a ballpark idea of the entire value. So overall, I'm actually extremely bullish on this token. I think it's going to really help out the burning of Pulsechain and PulseX, but also the main thing I love about it is based on the fact that they're targeting the incentive token, which needs to have deflationary mechanics behind it. And in my opinion, I think going on to the bull market, you're going to see a lot of incentive token being burnt off the market with TYRH. Now, the downside of TYRH, and there's always a downside to everything, tax tokens are very difficult to sell to people. People don't like to change their slippage. It's too confusing. They like to put a token in, click swap, and then execute. That's just the name of the game, and that's what I learned with these meme coins. And so based on the great community forming around this, there has to be this massive educational component to basically go against that narrative and to really push this token out. And so that little component is going to be pushing back TYRH, but also it's like a double sword, because if you have to pay such a large tax, less and less people are going to be less likely to sell their TYRH token, and they would just stake it to earn like internet money and Tony. So that's just like the one downside I will say. And it's going to be really hard to move the price, especially when you're trying to convince somebody with like $100 to essentially burn $30 or maybe a little bit more, a little bit less of that when it comes to the slippage fees and whatnot. So really, really great stuff. And so in my opinion, I love TYRH. It's really awesome. I'm going to cover it more into the future. And I really hope we hit our price target. I mean, if we hit $50 million, dude, I'm going to jump up and down. But I do think it's possible. But don't take my word for it. But also keep in mind, September 11th is a date you want to look out for, because we might see a little bit of a sell-off based on those stakes. So people do take profits. It's just part of the game. So let's see if we got any questions going on. Okay. All right. Let's see. I'm probably getting roasted right now because I messed up the tax. So, let's see. The TYRH ecosystem is just getting started. What a week. What happens? Awesome. Tetra is about to change DeFi and automation. I agree. TYRH burning all RH coins. Tetra. TYRH is going cray-cray. Thanks, Crypto Ethos. Elvis. Good stuff. 10% tax on sells, 29% slippage for buys, 12% on sells. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I completely messed it up in the beginning, but thank you for the corrections. So when you stake TYRH, you get airdrop of burned tokens. Yes, sir, you do. Cover that. Other airdrops every month. Yes, Texan is next. 30% slippage. Absolutely. Shout out JPAR. Stake TYRH, get airdrop of burn, then stake burn. Use interest from burn to buy more. TYRH, stake it, get more burn, airdrop, and repeat. Yeah, I like that. Okay, cool. Actually, we'll talk strategy in a second, and then sell slippage. Hey, shout out to Vibra Finance. Check out my homie Adam. Really great dude. They cover a lot of really great stuff. All the alpha you want, go over to Vibra Finance and check out his live stream. Shout out to him. Fixed supply is 1 billion TYRH, but 15 million burned, and I think it's so a bit less. So, all right, so we already got 15 billion burned. Now, here's the one thing I'll say about TYRH. Since you guys are clicking so hard, here's a strategy that I'm thinking about doing. So, what might be a really great idea is wait for a little micro dip right here, and then maybe do like a heavy bag. Because the reason why you want to do a heavy bag is because once you stake it, you're going to get those burned tokens. And what I would probably do is get those burned tokens and, pray to God that you get like the higher end of it. But there's a good chance you might get the lower end. And then keep on doing that bonfire auto compounding. And now one thing I would do is once that bonfire keeps auto compounding, I would probably try to auto compound it all the way up to that 15% claim booster mark, depending on how much you get and how many TYRH tokens you get off the bat. Because once you get that 15% claim booster, you won't have to worry about your rewards getting diminished, because you'll probably have an average boost a little bit higher. But also, always keep a little burn tokens in the back ready to go. In addition, I would probably keep increasing your burn tokens, because I believe there's a token price of it. That actually might be a yeah, let's take a look at the token burn price. Dude, look at this. Wow. You know what? This actually might be a play. I'm not going to lie, because more and more people are just holding it and putting it into the pot. And right now it's sitting at about $10,000 liquidity. Market cap is just under $1 million. This actually might be a solid play, because nobody's probably looking at this, because they're probably trying to mint as many as possible and then mint for NFTs. But keep in mind, the stuff that you use for NFTs is just going to go back to those auto compounders back and forth. So you might want to consider looking at doing dollar cost averaging and try to take some small micro profits coming across the board. So that's like a cool little strategy. Comment down your strategy down below and see what else we can get into it. So, all right, cool. So we dips, always buying, never selling. Okay, I got you. 10% claim boosters are better and cheaper. Do the math. All right, well, all right, I'll rethink my strategy and come back to it. So, but cool. Yeah, guys, like I said, TYRH, really great project. Check it out. It is absolutely awesome. Now, moving on. We got some news to talk about. So, as most of you guys know, when it comes to automation, we haven't seen much in the blockchain. We've seen AI. We've seen a lot of other projects come across, mostly like DeFi, meme coins, and whatnot. But there's one protocol that just launched on the Pulsechain that's trying to do a new approach when it comes to automation in the DeFi. And when I say automation in the DeFi, I'm talking about setting up a profit strategy, setting up a buy strategy, setting up ways to, earn off of your stakes in different cryptocurrencies, or basically set up a way to claim fees off of pools that you decide to get into. And the developers of this project are Hexagons. And essentially what they're trying to do is they're not trying to create a token necessarily, but what they're trying to do is create a tool that can be used for anywhere between beginner, intermediate, and advanced traders. And the name of this protocol is Tetra, tetra.win. So if you guys want to check out tetra.win, which I just talked about. So this is a project I covered a lot in the past. It's slowly being built out. Now, Tetra has a lot of like ecosystem projects, but essentially the nut and the bolts of it is they're trying to create a dApp that's similar to right here, where you can automate, staking Hex and then basically minting Hedron. You can automate buying Pulsechain every week or taking profits on Pulsechain every other week. And the idea is to create this automation approach so that you don't have to be looking at your wallet 24/7. You can set it, stake it, and basically set it and just let it go through its different processes. And so basically what Tetra has is they have two main components. They have Stratos and then Atlas. And so from the Tetra launch, we had Tetra launch on Ethereum, and they actually launched their native coin on Ethereum, and then it got copied over to the Pulsechain. That copy you can no longer use. They're not going to be using that token. But I just got recent news that actually Tetra just did a massive airdrop for everyone that was in the PulseX and the Pulsechain sacrifice. And so if you come over here to their Twitter and paste in your contract address right here into your MetaMask account, you'll see that you actually received a Tetra P airdrop on the Pulsechain. Now, one thing I want to get into before we get into the price chart of Tetra P. Now, the thing about the Tetra token and the main function behind it is basically you can stake it into the Tetra protocol. And when you go through and you set up like a trading approach and you kind of figure out a way where, like, say you want to buy Pulsechain every 7 weeks, or you want to basically buy up like Pulsechain and PulseX and put into a liquidity pool, take the incentive token, sell for Hex, stake Hex 5555, and then take your stake in Hedron. You can do that process. And through that process, you have to have USDC in your wallet. And from that USDC in your wallet, it'll take fees off of it. And so those fees that you get off of the Tetra protocol are going to go straight to Tetra stakers that hold that token. And so essentially, this is the ecosystem they are trying to create. And I absolutely love it. And so come over here to screen share. I already did a whole thing about this. You know, they have the Prism pool, the Q pool, and the Tetra pool. And essentially, through the Prism pool is where you're going to earn rewards from the Tetra P. And so, in my opinion, what I really like about the Tetra protocol is based on the fact that with this automation, I know a lot of people are going to get into this, and this is definitely going to be a multi-chain token all across the board. It's going to be on Ethereum. It's going to be on Pulsechain. I would bet my bottom dollar they're going to go to Avalanche, Polygon, and all these other blockchains. Now, we're in a very critical period of time for the Tetra protocol because we're right on the edge of the launch of the Prism pools, where you can come over and essentially, here, I'll show you what it's going to look like. So you can come over, you can create a trading strategy. And so if you set up a trading strategy, you can actually take a percentage of that, or you can create your own. So there's different ways to do this. But essentially, the Prism pools are going to be launching very, very soon. And if I come over here to the Tetra price chart, it's sitting at about 316K liquidity. Market cap's at $8.7 million, and it's trading sideways across the board. Now, they're expected to launch this app or this DApp on August 31st. And right now, it's July 29th, as most of you guys know. And so, in my opinion, there's a good chance that we will see Tetra do anywhere from, I'll say, a 1 to 5x right when that DApp launches, because all eyes are going to be on Tetra. And right now, since its launch, it's been trading sideways. And let's take a look at the price right now. So it's basically been trading sideways. It's up about 27%. So ultimately, how I see this playing out is sometime from probably, it's going to be trading sideways this whole time, but I honestly think we're going to see a massive price pop. So if you can get into this project before we see that price pop, you can definitely make some awesome profits right off the bat. Overall, long term, I'm extremely bullish on the Tetra protocol. I think what the developers are creating are great. I've talked to them before. They're really trusted within the community. And overall, if this automation works, there's a good chance that we could probably see a new approach to the Pulsechain, where rather than having to go through and basically sell your Pulse tokens, you can set up like an automation component and essentially make it easier for new traders to get into cryptocurrency without all the heavy lifting behind it. So overall, I'm really bullish on Tetra. I want to give you guys my update on the protocol and also my price prediction and how this is a critical time. Also, not a lot of people are talking about the protocol, so this is the time to jump in. So let's see if we got any more comments or question about Tetra. Oh, okay, we got a lot. Let's see what's up. Plus burn supply 100 billion. Though again, JPAR, thank you. TYRH is the most excitement in the cryptocurrency long time. Yes, sir. Ancient Hex. PSI 1931. FYI. PulseX Tetra airdrop is finished. Yes, I do know that. So I was just saying that there's that 555 airdrop. My comment, TYRH is the best project currently and the best meme coin with utility. Lots more to come. I definitely agree with you. My comment, Crypto Ethos, airdrop was only if you claim prior to the airdrop. No, well, not necessarily, because I didn't claim prior to the airdrop, and I literally looked at my wallet, and let's see if I can. I don't know if I have it on this one, but from what I saw with my wallet, I didn't claim anything whatsoever, and they sent me the 555 tokens. I don't know if I got Pulsechain set up on here. Let's see. Oh, I do. Let's see. Is this one? No, I don't have Pulsechain. Never mind. But regardless, you actually do have 555 tokens, but the total amount of those tokens is about $3.69 right now. So, ballpark. So, definitely really cool. But yeah, thanks for it. Staking Tetra is live as of August 1st at 21 UTC. Okay. Wait. I thought the Prism pools were going to be launched. Are you sure about that? Here, let me go look at this. Let's see what you say. The Tetra Prism Pool DApp front end will be published on August 31st on Tetra Win. The first pool will be open August 1st. More details to come. Okay. Okay. All right. I just saw what you're talking about. So you're talking about right here. You're saying the pools are open, but the Prism Pool front end DApp will be published on August 31st on Tetra.win. Okay. Well, I think, all right. Well, I guess I messed it up. I'm sorry, guys. My bad. But I think what I was trying to say is when you get that DApp coming out and people can start using the DApp to use the protocol, then this will be a great time to get in and start utilizing it. So that was my main point across. So sorry about that, guys. I had a little bit of confusion. I was reading that, and I want to thank Crypto Ethos for letting me know about that. So really great stuff. Cool. All right, cool. So let's just keep it moving. Now we're sitting at about it's about 6:15. So the next thing I want to talk about, there's a lot of talk about the decentralized wallet within the cryptocurrency space, especially for Pulsechain. Richard Heart has been commenting a lot about what's going on with, like, MetaMask, and how MetaMask is extremely centralized and extremely greedy, and they're taking a lot of fees off. They're causing a lot of issues, and he's talking about possibly launching a wallet. Now, there's actually one wallet that recently launched that has been doing absolute freaking numbers, and I absolutely love it. And this project was developed by a very well-known hexagon and developer in the space. And the name of this project is Internet Money. And so for those guys who don't know, Internet Money, it's a wallet protocol. There's two main tokens right now, and there's also a third one that's coming out later. But they have something called the Time Dividend token, and then they also have the internet money. I guess that's the Internet Money Dividend token. But essentially, the main one I want to focus on is Time Dividend. And so every time you use your MetaMask wallet, you have to pay fees on your transactions. And what MetaMask does is they take those fees, send it back to their development team, and then they use that to essentially pay for the development of MetaMask. What Time Dividend is doing is they're actually taking those fees that the wallet earns, and they're passing it on to Time holders, where you can basically go on the website, claim it, and all you have to do is own the Time token. Now, Time not recently launched, but launched a couple weeks ago, and since its launch, it actually has been doing absolutely awesome. I want to come over here. So we had a launch on June 23rd, and then it started dipping down, and then from its bottom, it actually hit about a 400% appreciation. So it hit a 4x right off the bat. And now from its bottom, it's sitting at about a 2x. Now, I've been doing a lot of research on Time and looking at what's going on. And since its launch, there's been over, I believe it was about 34 billion Pulse. I think it was 34 billion. But yeah, 34 billion Pulse has been acquired through transactions on this wallet. And it's been passed on to all the Time token holders. And they've just been earning massive amounts of passive income. And so, in my opinion, with this huge debacle behind the decentralized wallets, there's a good chance that going on to the future, time is going to be an absolute huge play. Now, keep in mind, I do think Richard Heart is going to come out with a Pulsechain wallet, and it's going to be different from time. And in my opinion, I don't think he's going to take any specific project, sponsor it, and say, hey, this is the project that I will get behind, because he's already said that I'm not going to be like Vitalik. I'm not going to do that. But ultimately, as we phase into the next bull market, there's going to be a lot of FUD behind MetaMask. There's going to be stuff to come out. MetaMask is doing a token airdrop. There's a good chance that airdrop could cause a lot of FUD, could basically drop down below, and ultimately cause a lot of mass panic. And so, in my opinion, based on how time has been performing and based on the fact that you earn the fees that are produced through that wallet, I think this project is going to be an awesome play going on to the future. In addition, time just added a buy and burn function within this project. So basically, you take your time tokens, put it into the wallet, and you can choose to earn your use your payouts to burn Pepe, time dividend, internet money, and Hex. So it's actually adding this really cool utility to behind the Pulsechain Pepe, because in my opinion, I think the Pulsechain Pepe will bring a great chance that it could actually run on the Pulsechain, but we'll get into that in a minute. But overall, I do really like the Time wallet, and if you guys use MetaMask for other blockchains, I get it. But if you have a Ledger wallet, they're actually setting up so that your Ledger wallet can connect to the Time wallet, to the Internet Money wallet. But if you're doing anything on the Pulsechain, it might be beneficial to set up your Internet Money wallet, connect it to your Ledger, and just use that to do Pulsechain transactions, because the Internet Money wallet is going to be designed to be extremely friendly with the Pulsechain. And this is probably going to be one of the biggest plays coming into the next bull market, on top of what we see with TYRH, and also on top of what we see with Tetra. And so you guys can kind of see the theme of the stream. I'm showing you guys the projects that I think will do extremely well going on to the future. And I personally believe Internet Money is a project you do not want to sleep on. So really great stuff. So let me go on and take a look at it. So buy an NFT from TYRH for RH wallet allocation. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, you guys really like TYRH, man. You guys are killing in the chat right now, so that's really cool. So awesome. So I just want to talk a little bit about those projects. Now, this next section, I got about 13 minutes left. I want to keep this under an hour. So I want to get into some more of the Degen play. So this is going to be like the Degen end of like the Pulsechain. I'm talking about, small micro cap PRC-20 tokens. So if you're not into like the PRC-20 meme coins or stuff, I understand. You can, click out of this video. I'm not going to be offended or whatever. But there's something I want to talk about when I was doing some research. So right around the Pulsechain launch, we saw the PRC-20 token copy of Uniswap, Bitcoin, and all these other big ERC-20 tokens absolutely explode. So we saw Pepe PRC-20 go up. We saw Wrap Bitcoin. Now, the one thing I want to say is all these tokens basically not really crashed in price, but a lot of them did, and then a lot of them are maintaining a price stability. And in my opinion, after we saw it go up, all the Pulsechain and Hexakin maxis started attacking these tokens. And so now that none of them are attacking them anymore and they're not talking about it, I think this is the best time to do some Degen meme plays on the Pulsechain ecosystem. Keyword Degen. Now, before I get into this next section, I want to make something clear. If you're still getting into Pulsechain or PulseX or TYRH or Internet Money or Tetra, you probably don't want to do this strategy. This is basically after you've done all your investments, done all your strategies, and most of these projects are like, $50 scratch-off tickets. And I like to do this a lot with my boy Adam over at Vibra Finance. And so essentially, basically what I'm trying to get across is I'm going to do a list of PRC-20 tokens that I think have the potential to run when we start to see Pulsechain go up, and I'm going to give my reasons in a second. Because after the Pulsechain airdrop, we saw thousands and thousands of PRC-20 tokens basically go into wallets. And one thing that Richard Heart did was he added a Pepe and he did a Pepe Pulsechain and ePepe and pPepe pairing on the PulseX yield farm. And the reason why he did this was, and he also did it for Wrap Bitcoin, the PRC-20 token copy. And the reason why he did this was he was trying to target community members on the Ethereum blockchain. The community came back, they backlashed, and they got upset. Now, one thing I want to say about this is I thought it was genius that Richard Heart was doing this, and in addition, he also mentioned he was going to do it like a year ago. But I think this is a great way to target other communities on the Ethereum blockchain. And I don't really understand the backlash, but also the backlash actually propagated those tokens up. So it actually helped out those tokens in the end. But ultimately, the one thing I want to say is Richard Heart has 5 main tokens: Pulsechain, PulseX, Incentive, EHEX, and PX. But he also has 15,000 other tokens, which are these PRC-20 token copies, because ultimately he did create these tokens at the Pulsechain launch. Now, in comparison to those other tokens, these are like peanuts, and the other ones are big rubble mounds, like they're big structures. So the main ones that he's focusing on are going to bring adoption, are going to bring utility, and are going to do extremely well. But don't fade these other PRC-20 token copies, because they are technically Richard Heart products, but they're basically ones that he's not going to really add utility to going on to the future unless he adds it to the PulseX yield farm. So, in my opinion, I made a list of these PRC-20 token copies of all the projects that I think could do extremely well when the next bull market comes around. So I'm going to come over here to screen share. So to start off, the PRC-20 token copy Pepe. I know you guys heard a lot about this token before, but essentially after Richard Heart added to PulseX, we saw a massive appreciation, and then this token absolutely crashed and fell off the face of the earth. Now, the one thing I like about the PRC-20 token Pepe is because not only is it like a meme coin, it's the same code, but also there's a lot of projects that are actually building hidden utility behind the Pepe PRC-20 token copy. To start off, Internet Money added a buy and burn to this token. In addition, Daytona Finance, a very popular yield farm. If I scroll down here, there is a single staking asset pool for pPepe. And then on top of that, if I come over here to yield farms, there's one for pPepe Tony, pPepe PulseX, and the Tony token has done absolutely well. So in my opinion, based on what I'm seeing with other projects, they're adding utility behind Pepe, they're trying to make it deflationary, and they're trying to create this like secondaries market for the yield farming. And so as the price of this token starts to go down and trade sideways, I think when we start to see Pulsechain start to appreciate, this token price is probably going to go up. Right now, the liquidity pool is sitting at $320,000, and half of that is in Pulse paired up with Pepe. And so when Pulse rises, this liquidity pool is going to rise. And so if Pulse were to do a 10x, there's a good chance that we might see this liquidity pool do anywhere between a 2 to 4x, depending on whether or not Pepe is trading sideways or it's not trading down. So in my opinion, as Pulse goes up, this Pepe token is going to go up. And so what I went ahead and did was I actually made a small like $50 to $100 scratch off buy into this token, and it's like I'll either make it back or I'll lose it. And my goal is to get like a 2 to 3x, sell a little bit of it off into Pulse, and just keep letting it run, and keep milking it, and try to use this approach to get as much Pulse as humanly possible. So that's kind of like my main strategy, and that's going to be my main strategy with the rest of these tokens. My next one, Uniswap. So, as most of you guys know, Uniswap, very big on the Ethereum blockchain. Now, the one thing I like about the PRC-20 token copy of Uniswap is there's a good chance at the bull market, Uniswap might launch onto the Pulsechain. I know they have a bunch of wallets, and they probably have a lot of these PRC-20 token copies. And there's a good chance that if they were to launch on the Pulsechain, Uniswap is going to absolutely explode across the board. Now, based on what I'm seeing with Uniswap and how it can easily launch onto the Pulsechain, there's a huge financial incentivization for Uniswap to be on the Pulsechain, because they can make so much money executing swaps, bringing on new tokens, and also adding an interoperability component to the Pulsechain. And so in my opinion, I think it makes sense to maybe throw in like a $50 or $100 into this PRC-20 token uni and just see what happens, because if Uniswap were to announce that, I guarantee you the Uniswap token is going to go absolutely bananas going on to the bull market. But please keep in mind, this is high risk, not financial advice. This is just stuff from research I'm looking on. In addition, Daytona Finance actually has a Uniswap pool right here. So they're actually adding value if you buy the Uniswap pool. I think right now there's only like about $8 grand in, but you can also earn Tony off of the P Uniswap token as well. And then as for the farms, I don't think they added a pairing with Uniswap. No. So okay, cool. So going back now for the next one, this was a favorite dog meme coin, especially Elon Musk was one to really propagate it up. This token is Shiba Inu. Now, Shiba Inu has an extremely big community, and they're coming out with the, I think it's Bonerum blockchain, and they're trying to create their own side layer 2 scaling solution. In my opinion, I still think this token has the potential to run because there's so much development issue behind this layer 2 scaling solution. And I firmly believe that Shiba Inu ERC20 token copies are going to be a lot higher when it comes to storage on the Pulsechain compared to that layer 2 scaling solution. And so in my opinion, as more people from the Shiba Inu community get involved with Pulsechain, there's a good chance that we could see a pump with Shiba Inu. In addition, we're starting to see 9inch come out with a DEX. We're also starting to see PulseX possibly flirting with adding PRC-20 token pairings on PulseX for the incentive token. So I wouldn't be surprised if Richard Heart tries to do like a Shiba Inu Pulse pairing going on to the future. And now lastly, my last one, and this is probably one that I think is going to do extremely well. It's going to be that PRC-20 token wrap Bitcoin. Now, I was going really deep into some research on this token, and I think Richard Heart absolutely loves this token. And I think what he really wants to do is get to a day where this wrap Bitcoin is going to be, one of these is going to be more than the actual Bitcoin on the market. So I guarantee he wants one of these to be at least like $100,000 in the future. Now, if I come down here, if I recall, I saw the entire token supply. So this is on the pool. I wonder if I can just go look at it on the Explorer. So right now, the total supply of wrapped Bitcoin is sitting at 154,410 coins. And so based on what we're seeing with wrapped Bitcoin, and there's a lot of hype behind it, the liquidity is sitting at about $250,000 with a market cap of 7 million. And so as we see Pulsechain start to go up, the liquidity in this pool is going to start inching up because of that pairing. I think more and more people are going to come in and dive into this. Now, some projects that have been getting on the wrap Bitcoin. First one, Daytona Finance. They have a bunch of pairings with PWBTC and Tony and other ones. They also have a single asset pairing with PWBTC. And also, Pulse Rate has a PWBTC pairing on their website. And if you guys know Pulse Rate, it's a tomb fork, and it's been doing absolutely awesome going on to the future. So I've covered this project in the past, and they've been killing it in the yield farming game, and they actually been making a killing doing the PWBTC wrap pairings. And so based on Daytona Finance and Pulse Rate, I think what their development and their innovation is going to do is they're going to push up this wrap Bitcoin PRC-20 token copy. And because there's such a small supply of 154,000 of these tokens, there's a good chance that we might see this wrap Bitcoin hit levels that we have not ever seen before. So overall, guys, those are extremely high risk, high reward plays. Like I said, if you haven't gotten into TYRH or any of these other coins that you're trying to like really diversify, focus on that stuff. what I just showed you guys is like a little side thing if you want to go screw around, do some degen, gambling, meme coin stuff, because I know a lot of people like to talk about this stuff, but for some reason the Pulsechain and Hex community, it's massively voodoo and people just don't like it overall. So like I said, it's a degen play. I'm not telling you guys to do it. Those are just some things I'm looking at, and you guys know I'm a degen. I like talking about projects. I love talking about meme coins and just keep it moving. So let's see if we got anything else going on. So cool. I guess we don't got any more questions. So, yeah. So before I wrap up this live stream, I just want to say, TYRH, really great protocol. Tetra, awesome protocol. I screwed up the prison pool thing, but I think when we start to see that GUI and that front end launch, I think the price is going to go up. So I'm still sticking to that. And so overall, guys, down in the description, I got websites for both these protocols. Feel free to go check it out. Leave a comment down below. Let me know if you got any questions. Let me know if I messed anything up in this video. And before I wrap this video up, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and turn on bell notifications so I keep you guys updated with the latest, greatest news and information within this space. My name's Khaos Kris. I love every single one of you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.